name is Debra Pearlman. I am the CEO of DP Sales Pro. Welcome to another segment of Unleash Your Success. I have with me a dear friend and one of my favorite co-hosts. Her name is Sheila Pearl. She is a keynote speaker, a life coach, and what else do you do? An author, seminar leader. She does everything that makes people want to live their life better. But you could say it so much better than I can.
I'm just a teacher. I'm a teacher.
That's it?
I teach, I assist and mentor people in living their lives better.
She's extremely modest. You want to tell them what you do?
Someone comes to me and says, I'd like to have more passion in my life, or I've been doing the same job for 22 years.
I like the passion better. Go back to the passion.
Let's talk about that. But when people reach a certain stage in their life where either they're stuck or they have flatlined and the juice of life is missing, seeing someone like me is probably the greatest gift they could give themselves, because the nature of what I do is actually to assist people in getting unstuck and to live what I call passionate, juicy lives.
You know, it's interesting because so many people get into that, either if they're not a solo entrepreneur, if they're a business person, a regular business professional, and there's nothing wrong with that, but there's that rut where you get up in the morning, you get dressed, you commute to work. You're at your office all day long, you're doing your thing, you get on the train or the bus or in the car, and you go home, and then you change, and then you're with the kids, you're with, you do some time with the family, maybe you're the coach of roller hockey, or if you're a mom, you're driving your kids all over the place. And then you have dinner, and then you hang out. Some people fall asleep in front of the TV. I'm sorry to say that's pretty much the common, right? And then you go to sleep, and then what happens the next day? You're getting up in the morning and you're doing the same thing. And some people don't even, it's just like, this is my life, this is what I'm doing, and there's nothing better out there, and there's no way to change it. And even if I could change it, do I really have the energy or the time? Because I'm so tired with the kids and the dog and the house and the bills. And
so, Debra, notice how you're talking to yourself. Notice what you're saying to yourself.
I need you.
Yeah, exactly. Because we all have these conversations with ourselves.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I have at least 2 or 3 voices going on, and I'm not insane. But I've got all these little voices going on. I'm having these conversations with myself.
Absolutely.
And sometimes people have no idea they are having these conversations, and then they begin to believe them.
Because, right, if you say, I'm tired or I'm too busy, then I'm too busy.
Yeah, exactly.
That becomes the excuse.
So then you begin to believe it. So I'm here as this outside mirror, if you will. I'm here as this outside pair of ears and pair of eyes and human being who could be out here noticing what you're saying to yourself, or noticing what you say you want and what you're getting, and help you see more clearly what your choices are when you get so hidden inside the quagmire of your life, and these little voices that you have going on in your head, and you think it's true. And I'm here to say, that's just a thought. That's not necessarily true.
Do you mean I'm not too busy? I gotcha.
Well, I'd say, well, what do you mean by that?
Okay, so she would start processing it. So, all right, so when someone comes to you and they're like that, so the first thing is they become aware of the fact that they're even having these conversations.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what if somebody, how do you determine if somebody wants to really be doing more, or if they really are content and they think they should be wanting? You know that should?
Well, there's that should,
right?
So I listen very carefully to the words people use to talk to themselves, much less to me or other people. And wherever that should creeps in, I listen really carefully. I say, if we take the should away, what would remain? What do you really want? What do you really, really want? What do you love to do? What do you love to eat? What do you love to listen to? And I really pay attention to the sights, the sounds, the colors, the tastes that someone really loves. And maybe they've forgotten to allow themselves to enjoy. So I would listen very carefully to what you think you should be doing versus what you really want to do.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had a conversation this morning with someone who teaches at SUNY New Paltz, who's one of my clients, who's teaching a class. He hates teaching. And he took it to make some extra money. And I said, so what is this about the course that you feel that you should be doing? He said, well, I took the job there rather than over there to make more money. I said, and making more money gives you what? And if you, in order to make more money, you're doing something that makes you miserable, you tell me what the exchange is. What's the trade-off?
Mhm.
And so we began, in other words, I'm not giving people answers. I just continue to ask questions. A lot of people come to me and say, aren't you going to give me the answers? Are you just supposed to give me advice? I said, no, I'm here to help you figure it out. But, I'm not going to give you the answer. Well, why not? Because I said, if I give you the answer,
right,
you're just listening to my voice.
Right.
It's just another voice you have to listen to.
But that's what people want. People want to take that magic pill that's silver bullet. Well, I should be doing better. I should be more successful. I should be making more money. Can't you do that for me?
Well, I had a guy come in to me who's a world-class musician, and he came to me and said, I think you know what bothers me? I've been so depressed, I think I'm mediocre. I said, oh. And if that's true, what if that's true? He said, what? Aren't you going to try to talk me out of it?
No, everybody else probably has.
Right. I said, I've heard your recordings. You're fabulous from my point of view. But what if you are mediocre? Then what? Well, coming from that conversation, and again, I wasn't going to agree with him that he was mediocre. I was just listening to, he's saying to himself that he's mediocre. I said, well, what are you making that mean?
Because he convinced himself.
Right. He said, well, actually, I think I'd really rather be a writer. I was listening to my father's voice all my life,
Wow.
playing this particular instrument. And I really got really good at it because if I wasn't, my father wouldn't speak to me. So what came out of that one conversation was his realization. He's really, in the world's concept of him, he's not mediocre. In his world, he's mediocre, partly because he doesn't want to rise to his highest possible potential, because he really doesn't want to do it. He really wants to write. He's now writing for some of the top music journals and archives in the country, because he found his niche. He found his passion.
He found what he was truly in desire of. That's great. Instead of making excuses for why he wasn't.
Exactly.
Good for him. Good for you. So just really quickly, because we're gonna have to wrap up. You have a great tagline. It's great. You have to share it.
My tagline is, I'm not here to change you, just to wake you up.
Okay, that's a great. I love it. And then the other one that we talked about, it's not your tagline, but what's that other sentence that you say? You're here to help us play a better game.
Oh, I'm here to help you play a better game of life.
Okay, which I wish she was around. 'Cause when I was little, we played that game of life, I did miserably. I had no idea how to play it. I had no idea what the money thing was, and I ended up with 7 kids one time. It was not good. Remember the game?
I do remember.
Okay, so I used to play that. So anyway, thank you very much, Sheila, for joining us today. Can you just share your contact info?
Sure. Sheila Pearl is my name. My website is my name, SheilaPearl.com. And you can go to my email, info@lifecoachsheila.com. You can call me anytime, really, 24/7. If I don't answer, I'll call you back, 201-303-5990.
Great, thank you very much. And just so everybody knows, Pearl, Sheila Pearl, it's spelled the same as the beginning of my last name. It's Pearl. So we do share that in common.
We do.
Yeah, there's some
We are
synergy here.
pearls of wisdom, don't you think?
I do, but that's your tagline. I can't steal it. I really like it though. And thank you guys so much. Debra Pearlman saying thank you till next time on Unleash Your Success. Take care.